What Ryan Reynolds, has seemingly done, right, is used his power and influence to not only help Blake Lively take over this movie.
Ryan Reynolds, beloved for his razor-sharp wit, self-deprecating humor, and a knack for playing the lovable antihero. For the longest time, audiences only knew him as the cheeky, charismatic presence who brought Deadpool to life and seemed to have an idyllic marriage with actress Blake Lively. But in recent months, swirling rumors claim that all is not well behind the scenes. Not only is Ryan rumored to be at odds with Marvel Studios, jeopardizing his future as the red-suited Merc with a mouth, but his name is entangled in a legal firestorm involving actor-director Justin Baldoni. The story? Allegations that Ryan may have orchestrated a sweeping smear campaign against Baldoni, manipulated the press, and even slipped coded barbs into Deadpool 3. For those who have only seen Ryan's sunny side, the rumor mill is painting a vastly different picture. A Hollywood power player who allegedly wields his influence to settle personal vendettas and keep his wife in the driver's seat of major film projects. Reports say Marvel, famous for running a tight ship, has been pulled into the fiasco, desperately trying to keep its brand from being collateral damage in a feud that's creeping toward lawsuits and media uproar. Is Ryan really becoming too big a liability for the MCU's squeaky clean image? Or is this entire narrative being blown out of proportion by sensational headlines? Curious to learn the ins and outs of this swirling controversy? Buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into the intricate saga that spans private arguments, hush-hush Hollywood power moves, and big-budget Marvel blockbusters. By the end, you might see Ryan Reynolds and the future of his beloved Deadpool character in a startling new light. If Hollywood deep dives and drama-fueled mysteries are your thing, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell. We're unpacking every juicy revelation around Ryan, Marvel, and Justin Baldoni's intense behind-the-scenes clash. Trust us, it's only getting more shocking with each new detail.
Who owns the production company, who owns the next movie script. I am going to invest myself everywhere. I'm going to be doing your movie premiere. I'm going to be doing promos and making fun of you.
Long before Justin Baldoni or the controversy over a rumored smear campaign entered the picture, there was already a quiet tension between Ryan Reynolds and Disney. When Disney acquired Fox, it inherited the Deadpool franchise, an irreverent R-rated series that thrived on crass jokes and boundary-pushing violence. This edgy tone felt miles away from the cozy, family-friendly image Disney had painstakingly built over decades. Execs found themselves in a tricky spot. Deadpool was a goldmine, and Ryan's portrayal brought in massive box office returns and glowing fan support. But how do you integrate an F-bomb-dropping anti-hero into a universe that also features singing princesses and friendly talking animals? Initially, Disney tried to keep Deadpool somewhat siloed, avoiding confusion between its squeaky clean Marvel Cinematic Universe and Ryan's raunchy comedic escapades. Yet, as the MCU expanded, fan demand for crossovers grew deafening. People wanted to see Deadpool team up with the Avengers, or at least trade jabs with Spider-Man on screen. The suits at Disney and Marvel recognized the potential, but they also worried, would parents boycott a brand that let Deadpool run wild? All these concerns remained mostly contained until the drama with Baldoni surfaced. Suddenly, the friction wasn't merely about R-rated jokes. It morphed into a potential PR crisis that threatened to blow up in Disney's face. If Ryan had indeed used his comedic platform to ridicule or slander someone, would that reflect badly on Deadpool and, by extension, Disney's entire cinematic universe? Enter Justin Baldoni, known to many as Raphael on Jane the Virgin, and also the mind behind thought-provoking films and docuseries. He's built a reputation for exploring topics like masculinity, empathy, and social awareness, often challenging the status quo in Hollywood. When news dropped that he was directing It Ends With Us, fans of the best-selling novel were thrilled, especially since he cast Blake Lively, one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces, to play the film's central character. At first, it sounded like a match made in cinematic heaven. Baldoni's introspective approach dovetailed with the book's emotional story, while Blake's star power promised box office success. But as production ramped up, rumors of creative disputes flared. Some alleged that Blake wanted more control than usual, hoping to shape the film in a way that aligned with her personal style. Others whispered that Baldoni's insistence on certain methods clashed with Blake's desire for bigger, flashier storytelling. The tension escalated into open conflict when Blake filed a lawsuit accusing Baldoni of an array of misconducts, from failing to supply adequate resources on set to allegedly belittling her postpartum body. That alone would have turned heads, but the situation grew more tangled once Ryan Reynolds' name began surfacing in insider leaks. Whispers emerged suggesting Ryan had personal grievances against Baldoni, possibly fueled by jealousy, creative differences, or even unsubstantiated claims that Baldoni and Blake shared more chemistry than Ryan liked. Whatever the motive, sources whispered that Ryan had the Hollywood clout to push Baldoni out of the way, especially if it meant safeguarding his wife's interests and maintaining a tight grip on their public image. Controversy really took off when legal documents from Baldoni's side depicted Blake's lawsuit as a strategic tool, orchestrated by Ryan. Suddenly, the narrative wasn't just about a director and actress at odds, it was about a top-tier actor with major pull in Hollywood, quietly manipulating everything from media coverage to the very agencies representing Baldoni. Rumors buzzed that Ryan had called upon powerful contacts to ensure negative stories about Baldoni got traction in reputable publications. Some believed Ryan used the same team that had expertly managed Deadpool's marketing blitz, those clever viral videos and fourth wall-breaking ads, to tarnish Baldoni's reputation without Ryan's name being directly attached. The claim was that he wanted to appear squeaky, clean, and supportive of Blake from the sidelines, while effectively dismantling Baldoni's credibility. On Baldoni's end, skepticism soared. He vehemently denied the accusations leveled in Blake's lawsuit, and his team insisted they had proof that some of her allegations were fabricated or embellished. His lawyers pointed out that the timing of certain leaks seemed suspiciously aligned with announcements tied to Deadpool 3 or other Ryan-led projects. Could that be coincidence, or was it a sign that a coordinated effort was in play? To complicate matters, Disney and Marvel saw their longtime star entangled in a legal fiasco that threatened to disrupt any promotional campaigns for Deadpool 3. Worse yet, if any of those alleged smear tactics bled into the content of the actual film, that could expose them to potential lawsuits and fan backlash. With the possibility of a massive scandal looming, Marvel's top brass had to question whether Ryan's comedic genius was worth the mounting risk.
Who are you? Oh, I'm Deadpool. But in here, everybody calls me Nice Pool. Who are
If
you?
you've ever watched a Deadpool movie, you know it thrives on meta humor, poking fun at itself, the broader Marvel universe, and pop culture at large. Yet some fans began spotting curious parallels in early glimpses of Deadpool 3. They noticed a new character with a high man bun suspiciously similar to Baldoni's signature style, plus quirky lines referencing postpartum body issues, mirroring one of Blake's claims against Baldoni. Where most viewers might see standard Deadpool irreverence, Baldoni's legal team believed there were intentional jabs woven right into the script. Lawyers demanded Marvel preserve any documents, emails, or script revisions that might prove Ryan inserted these jokes as a personal attack. The kicker? Marvel, known for meticulously vetting scripts to protect its brand, might not have caught the hidden references until late in production. Insiders alleged that Marvel quietly yanked out the most explicit jokes aimed at Baldoni once the legal threat surfaced. Still, a few subtle digs apparently remained in the final cut. Depending on whose story you believe, either Ryan was continuing Deadpool's tradition of punching up at popular culture, or he was using an MCU film to shame a director he disliked. Both scenarios carry massive implications for Marvel, which is famously careful about letting personal feuds overshadow the carefully orchestrated continuity of its cinematic universe.
God, he loved his face. I could taste his final thought. He was so afraid. What would ever happen to me?
The deeper the feud ran, the more Marvel found itself dragged into a high-stakes fiasco. With Deadpool 3 slated to be a cornerstone of the next MCU phase, especially after the X-Men and Deadpool properties joined Marvel's stable, the studio was banking on Ryan's comedic star power to keep fans hooked. The last thing they wanted was a fiasco that could derail or delay the project. But how could they ignore the mounting rumors? If Baldoni's legal team produced evidence that Ryan used Marvel's film as a weapon, it could trigger a flurry of negative headlines, or worse, an actual lawsuit against the studio. Even if no legal blow fell directly on Marvel, the stain of controversy might taint the hype and overshadow the big Wolverine crossover fans had been dreaming of. Meanwhile, fans seemed divided. One faction insisted Ryan was innocent until proven otherwise, citing his long history of philanthropic gestures and the comedic charm he shows in interviews. Another faction argued that wealth and fame can shield people from accountability, contending that Ryan might have orchestrated everything quietly and still emerged looking squeaky clean. Caught in the crossfire, Disney tried to remain silent, mindful that any statement could inflame the matter further.
Not only are you here, but you're back as Wolverine. Come on, bud. That's okay.
I had more fun playing him this time than ever before. I had a blast.
But it's almost a decade since, and you did Logan, which was fantastic, and then you said, that's it. We've done all.
Yep.
And that was it.
One of the biggest question marks in all this is Hugh Jackman's stance. He and Ryan share a famously playful feud in real life, one that involves comical roasts, social media quips, and endless pranks. After Marvel confirmed that Wolverine would appear in Deadpool 3, fans rejoiced at the idea of a comedic face-off between two beloved actors who banter so naturally off-screen. But has this real-life controversy complicated that warm dynamic? No one's heard a peep from Hugh about Baldoni, the lawsuit, or Ryan's rumored behind-the-scenes maneuvering. Some wonder if he's distancing himself to remain neutral, especially if the allegations are more serious than typical gossip. Others suspect the Aussie actor might be showing loyalty to Ryan, but choosing to stay mum until the dust settles, hoping that the controversy won't overshadow what could be a blockbuster. Even more intriguing is the possibility that other industry heavyweights are circling, uncertain whether to side with the star behind a billion-dollar Marvel franchise, or the director claiming he's been unjustly blacklisted. If the top brass at Disney decides they can't weather negative press from Ryan's alleged involvement, could we see a major shift in the MCU's future plans, where Ryan is quietly ushered out and replaced by a safer option?
Let's talk Lady Deadpool. What's it like being part of that fantastic franchise?
My goodness. Well, that was just a neat little surprise. Rob Liefeld, who drew Lady Pool.
I love Rob.
He's cool,
Isn't
right?
he great?
Yeah.
While the majority of public attention has focused on Ryan's alleged manipulations and Baldoni's response, there's also Blake Lively to consider. Her lawsuit triggered the avalanche of rumors, and her level of involvement has been hotly debated. Some claim she's a victim who felt genuinely mistreated on set, while others think her claims might have been exaggerated or co-crafted with Ryan to gain control of the film. The swirl of speculation is intense. People point to her high-profile friendships, like with Taylor Swift, and wonder whether she's leveraging big-name connections to shape public perception. Social media has amplified every rumor, with fans dissecting photos, interviews, and even cryptic tweets. A since-deleted post from an alleged insider claimed that certain negative press articles about Baldoni were pitched to top outlets on the same day Ryan's PR team was seen visiting those offices. Baldoni's representatives have gathered screenshots of such posts, fueling the notion that something more nefarious could be at play. Meanwhile, the official line for Marvel remains silence. No one from the studio has publicly confirmed or denied the rumored behind-the-scenes drama. Normally, Kevin Feige, the mastermind behind the MCU, would be everywhere touting the synergy between characters. This time, though, he's suspiciously absent from the conversation, sparking theories that Disney ordered a media blackout to avoid stoking the controversy.
You smell something?
Yeah, you.
That's Kid Pool. She's the dirtiest. Can we just be done? Ooh. I think it's been steadily great since Endgame.
So, here we stand. Ryan Reynolds, who once seemed bulletproof thanks to a perfect blend of sarcastic wit and genuine kindness, now finds himself at the heart of a swirling maelstrom of allegations. Is he an unwitting scapegoat in Hollywood's latest soap opera, or did he truly manipulate entire agencies and slip demeaning jabs into a billion DLR Marvel movie? With each new leak, fan theory, or cryptic social media post, the intrigue grows deeper, and the stakes for Marvel grow higher. Baldoni's future in Hollywood could hinge on the outcome of this dispute. So could Ryan's reputation as a universally adored figure. Will Disney stand by him, brushing off the rumors as baseless gossip? Or could they cut ties if lawsuits or damning evidence surfaces? The MCU is an enormous machine, but no franchise is immune to a scandal if it ignites a public firestorm. So where do you land on this unfolding saga? Could Ryan really be pulling the strings to sabotage Justin Baldoni, or are we watching a game of telephone where rumors snowball into something unrecognizable? Let us know your theories in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the behind-the-scenes battles rocking Hollywood's biggest brands. One thing's for sure, whatever the final truth, the aftershocks could reshape Marvel's cinematic landscape and Ryan Reynolds' career forever.